Written by D. L. Houston. Audio by Houston Productions. Cimmeria, Land of Dark, Deep Night. Chapter 1, Lookout. The Eglophian Mountains rose above the land like circling giants of blue-mantled steel to the north of Cimmeria, gleaming with ice and snow as the pinnacles pierced through the rain-laden sky. The meandering dark wisps of everlasting clouds gently rolled above the four encamped lookouts, perched high upon a sheer hilltop, 50 feet above the canopy of the forest below. From their vantage point, they could see far and wide, from east to west across their lands. Blion the elder lay resting in his fur cloak, looking upwards, watching the white shifting forming shapes high above him, as they swayed their eternal dance. He was too deep in his own thoughts to sleep for now, but he knew it would come for him soon. Once the blasted cold had lifted, he sulked. Fergus and young Torn had already nodded off beside him in the grassy knoll, oblivious to the world around them. Cuchulainn, the fourth member of the watch party, scanned the land from his ledge around Cromlock, his settlement, as the other warriors slept behind him in the foliage. He watched as the moonlight rays slithered and crawled along the dark valley floor far below him, illuminating patches of tilled and open grassland, spattered in snow. The skies were calm now, Cuchulainn mused, but he knew when the Cimmerian god Crom awakened upon his mountain peak, he would bellow out thunder and lightning to enrage the sky gods above. The tribes firmly believed that the booms of thunder were Crom's laughter and defiance, that this was his land and his chosen people. They are taught from a young age to worship their god Crom from the elders, passed down through generations gone. They believe their god Crom sits upon the highest mountain top in judgment of their daily toil with his land, breathing life into the new foundlings from birth. His breath is his only gift. As Cuchulainn looked out from his plateau, watching for signs of encroachment into their lands from the Vanir further north, their sworn enemy, he observes the falling dusk dance across the open plains towards his home settlement. A steady stream of torches began to flame into procession, forming a winding snake of luminous light on the white pastures, several miles away to the south of where he sat. The fur tents can be clearly seen dotted around the patchwork quilt that is the expanse of Cimmeria. Surrounding the homes are large stockades of timber circling the area of Cromlock. He knew that the tribe was heading towards the clan mead hall, the large central tent for the monthly gathering to discuss the harsh winter to come. Cuchulainn sat with one leg dangling nonchalantly over the ledge. The other leg was used to rest his axe on while he sharpened the steel head. He peered now and again down to the forest canopy below for signs of life. He was enjoying the cold wisps of mountain air in his lungs, inhaling deep breaths of cold, holding it, savouring his life, then exhaling out slowly. "Ah, this is the life," he whispered aloud, then went back to slowly sharpening his axe head. Blion from his fur bed broke the silence of the night. "You're going to thin that blade too much, Chew. No doubt dreaming of using it on some funnier dogs, eh?" He let out a chuckle, then persisted in finding some comfort in the cold damp foliage under him, wrapping his fur cloak tight for some heat for his old bones. He knew the hound, as he was known in the settlement, would never sleep while on lookout duty, so took advantage of this fact to get much needed shut-eye. Cuchulainn ignored him and continued inspecting the head of his axe, tilting it to the moon and watching the sparkles dance on the edge of the blade. Time passed and the night wore on. His tribesmen rested, Blion snoring like a pregnant hog behind him. Cuchulainn was lost in his thoughts, grinding the axe head with his whetstone. He stopped suddenly, his body becoming rigid, turning his head slightly to the right, listening with his eyes shut intently. Was it the wind, or a wild animal below in the forest moving with speed, breaking dead wood underfoot as it echoed towards him? A blinding flash of bright red lit the canopy below to his right. Then a man's scream broke above the roar of the wind, only Cuchulainn hearing it distinctly from his vantage point near the edge. Moments passed, then another blinding flash of red, closer. Another scream arose louder this time, blood-curdling, his anguish carried by the wind towards Cuchulainn. At least a mile away, he thought, close enough to the settlement to cause concern. He knew it was time to act.